Today, my topic is Introduction of Vascular Disease. My name is Hong Feng Zhang. I'm from the Department of Vascular Surgery, the first affiliated hospital. This is the circulation system. The left is the artery system, and the right bottom is the venous system. And section 1, common symptoms and signs of vascular disease. First, the pain. One is the intermittent claudication. Like the right photo, when person is walking, he suddenly feel low extremity pain. That is intermittent claudication. The characteristic of ischemic muscle pain resulting from inadequate oxygen delivered during the exercise. Second is reproducible upon walking and spatial distance. The third is relieved by several minutes of rest. The second is continuous pain, means rest pain. And the characteristics don't walk or lie down on the bed. The patient still complains pain, but we must distinguish it from the arterial pain, venous pain, and the inflammatory pain. Such acute artery embolism is the artery pain. The deep venous thrombosis means the DVT, the venous pain. So the superficial thrombophlebitis is the inflammatory pain. The second is edema, include venous edema and lymph edema. And deep venous thrombosis is the most common edema of the venous. And the lymph edema usually shows the elephantiasis. The left is the DVT. The right is the elephantiasis. And the third is changing of skin temperature. Such artery embolism, atherosclerosis obliteratus means ASO, and thromboangiopathy obliteratus means TL, shows the decreased skin temperature. Such the deep venous thrombosis and superficial thrombophlebitis increase the skin temperature. The fourth is change of skin color, include normal, pale, and cyanosis, and gangrene, and pigmentation, ulcer. This is the gangrene. This is the pigmentation. This is the ulcer. The fifth is mass. Include the pulsatile mass and no pulsatile mass. Such aneurysm and arterial venous fistula shows the pulsatile mass, and the angioma shows the no pulsatile mass. And this is the aneurysm. Section 2, and basic techniques for diagnosis include the laboratory test to knowledge configuration function, ankle brachial index means ABI, to check the peripheral arterial disease. Ultrasound show the vessel stenosis and embolism. Example CT, MRI, and interventional angiograph. This is CTA. This is a normal person. We can classification in the aorta. This is ascending aorta, descending aorta, and suprametallic artery, renal artery. This is MI. So we can see the political obstruction. This is the arterial graft. We showed the right femoral artery occlusion. This is the venous graft. We see the valve and the blood process. Aortic delays include aortic aneurysm and aortic dissection. And first, aortic aneurysm. Aneurysm are commensal localized enlargement of an artery to more than 1.5 times its expected diameter. Classification of aneurysm: A, B, C, D. A, normal. B, sealed aneurysm. Is the fourth aneurysm. It's the blood run outside the wall. First form aneurysm is true aneurysm. The expansion of the whole wall. The D is dissecting aneurysm, or dilation of aortic dissection, separation of wall layers, then filled with the fluid. Abdominal aortic aneurysm is AAA. Its prevalence is 4.3% in men and increasing rapidly after 55 years old. Its etiology is completely with atherosclerosis, hypertension, inflammation, congenital abnormalities in vessels. Its distribution was most are infrarenal artery, about 95%. Its natural history to enlarge and rupture. This is aneurysm. This is the renal artery. Clinical manifestation. Most are symptomatic before rupture, discovered on routine physical examination or imaging. Pulsatile mass in the upper and middle abdomen, abdominal or low back pain. This is the abdominal aortic aneurysm. This is the ultrasound view of the aortic aneurysm. Diagnosis include physical examination, abdominal ultrasound, CT scan, and MR angiography. And the last is arteriography. And the size standard is localized dilation of the aorta with 15% increased in diameter compared to the normal, about 3 centimeter. This is CTA, the aortic abdominal aneurysm. This is the iliac artery, abdominal aorta. The indication of the surgery include the first, the aneurysm diameter is more than 5 centimeter. The second is the diameter between 4 to 5 centimeter. We should follow up and candidate for repair if there is a 0.5 centimeter enlargement over 6 months period. The third is asymptomatic AAA, include tenderness, pain, peripheral embolization, and so on. Treatment. The goals of management to prevent rupture and prolong life. The treatment approach include conservative therapy, use the jug country the blood pressure. The second is open surgery. Use the process graft reconstruction the vessels. And the third is the endovascular therapy. Use the stent graft. And this is the open surgery of AAA. This is the aneurysm. This is the processes of graft. And at first we country the neck of aneurysm and both iliac artery, then open the aneurysm. Then aorta and process is end-to-end anastomosis and then aneurysm isolation. This is the graft. The more advanced technique is the endovascular therapy. First, we implanted the stent graft under the renal artery, then opened the stent graft. Then at last isolated the aneurysm. This is stent graft. This is CTA of the post-operation after endovascular therapy. The aneurysm is completely isolation. Second is the aortic dissection. Aortic dissection is an intima tear and the separation of the layers of the aortic wall, which results in a false lumen compressing the true lumen. It is the most common catastrophic event involving the aorta. Its etiology include the arterial hypertension, connective tissue disorder, highest risk of rupture, especially at acute phase, less than 14 days. This is the edema flap. This is the true lumen. This is the false lumen. Classification. Two kinds of classification in clinical. One is the DeBaker classification. Type 1, type 2, type 3. In type 1, the edema tear on the ascending aorta and separated to the iliac artery. Type 2, the edema tear on the ascending aorta, but the separation localized the ascending aorta. Type 3, the edema tear on the descending aorta. The separation localized the descending aorta or separated into the iliac artery. The other type is the standard classification, and type A and type B. Type A, the edema tear on the ascending aorta. The type B, the edema tear on the descending aorta. And diagnosis include the history and imaging. History, the patients usually complain the chest or back pain and hypertension. The image include the CT scan, MRI angiography, and angiography means DSA. This is CT scan. This is the true lumen. This is the false lumen. This is edema. treatment strategy. For the acute aortic dissection, less than 14 days after onset, if it is type A, the patient should be emergency surgical repair of the ascending aorta. If it is type B and uncompleted, we used some drugs to control blood pressure. If it is type B and with rupture and limb ischemia, abdominal malperfusion, persistent pain, or uncontrollable hypertension, the patient should be surgical or intraluminal intervention. Example, fluctuation, stent aortic graft replacement, bypass grafting. For the chronic aorta dissection, is more than 14 days after onset. The patient should be close the follow-up and CT scan, also thorax and abdomen. In the first years, every 3 months should be follow-up, and in the second years, every 6 months should be follow-up, then once yearly. If it is the diameter of the aneurysm more than 5 centimeters, the patient should be evaluated for surgical graft replacement. Open surgery repair. For the if it is standard A type dissection, graft replacement of the ascending aorta. For the standard B type dissection, graft replacement of the descending aorta. Third is endovascular septal. This is the stent graft. This is the CTA type standard B dissection. This is the standard CTA of the post-operation after endovascular septal. The second is peripheral arterial occlusive disease, include atherosclerosis obliterans, ASO, thromboangiitis obliterans, TL, and acute embolism, Togoyasa arteritis, Reynolds phenomenon. The first is atherosclerosis obliterans, ASO. It is common in the low extremity atherosclerosis. The ASO is involved large and medium arteries, include the iliac, femoral, popliteal, and or infrapopliteal arteries. Its prevalence is about 10% or more than 70 years old in USA. This is the MRA. We see that the left femoral occlusion and both popliteal is occlusion. Physiology. Its liquid factors include hypertension, abnormal serum lipid labs, cigarette smoking, diabetes, obesity, advanced age, and male. Its mechanism is confused, and atherosclerotic plaque is the most pathology. Clinical manifestation about the first stage. The first stage is nutrition, then dysfunction, and decrease of skin temperature. The second stage, the patient completed intermittent claudication, and we don't touch the distal parts. The third stage, the patient complete less pain. The fourth stage shows the ulcer and the gangrene. This is the ulcer. This is gangrene. And the ankle pressure index is the most tested in the ASO. For a normal person, the ABI is more than 1. Doppler, CTA, MI, and arteriography should be tested ASO in the patient. And treatment include non-operative treatment and surgical treatment. Antiplatelet drugs, vasodilators, exercise is the non-operative treatment. To the surgical treatment include endarterectomy. The second is surgical bypass grafting. The third is interventional treatment, means percutaneous transluminal angioplasty and endovascular stent. The last is amputation. This is endarterectomy. We separated the pancreas and remove it. This is the both iliac artery occlusion, so we can aorta femoral bypass. This patient is both iliac artery occlusion, so we left axillary femoral bypass with the prosthesis. This is femoral popliteal bypass. This patient used the prosthesis. This patient used the osteogenous great saphenous vein. This is great saphenous vein. This is the endovascular stents. Stents include the self-dilated stent and blue stent. This patient is right iliac artery occlusion. So at first the guide wire through the occlusion segmental, then the blue dilation. The blue dilated the occlusion segmental, then implanted the stent. At last, DSI showed the iliac artery closed. At last, some people should be amputation to save their life. Secondly, slumbar angiotitis obliteralis means TIO or bogus delays. It is non-axonal segmental inflammatory vaso-occlusive disease. And the TIO affects the small and medium-sized arteries. and width of the upper and lower extremities, and it is more prevalent in the Middle East and Asia. Aged between 20 to 35 years old men is more common. Explosive associated with cigarette smoking. Etiology include external factors and internal factors. Cigarette smoking, rigid irritation, injury, infection, sexual hormone, and so on is the external factors. Hereditary and susceptibility, autoimmune disease, high coagulation state, and so on is the internal factors. Clinical findings. And the patient's hand and feet are usually cool, and the skin pale or cyanosis.